Hello everybody, welcome to Fiveday. So today is the day I would really like to talk about bad CGI in movies. Now there are tons and tons of examples of wonderful uses of CGI in movies. There's The Perfect Storm. There's The Day After Tomorrow. There's Star Wars' pod racing. There's the Avengers fighting the massive army. Pretty much all of Inception. My point is, there's tons and tons of reasons to use CGI in movies, but sometimes there is no reason to use it, and it looks horrible. One great example of absolutely nightmarish CGI is The Mummy Returns, where the Scorpion King shows up and he looks like a bad guy from a PlayStation 2 game. Another absolutely horrible example of CGI is in Twilight Breaking Dawn, where you see the main character's baby, and it's terrifying. They CGI'd out the face. Why would you do that? Just get a real baby. And if you don't want to do that, just get an animatronic baby. Another good example is young Jeff Bridges from Tron Legacy. Now don't get me wrong, Tron Legacy was a really great movie. I actually love that movie. But young Jeff Bridges.
You'll have to excuse me, you arrived just as I was preparing a little toast. Where are you now?
For at this moment, the key to the next frontier is finally in our possession!
Young Jeff Bridges. And lest we forget, the Green Lantern.
Green. Wow.
Now there's a lot of examples of bad CGI in the movie industry. That's just a fact. However, there doesn't have to be. Take This Man, for example. Jackie Chan is one of the best filmmakers I've ever heard of. And actually, all around, he's just a pretty great guy. But he once took... Hold on, let me look this up. Now, in Dragon Lord, which was a film Jackie Chan made, they took over 2,900 takes to do one scene. And he didn't use any CGI in it whatsoever. Now hear me out, that is absolutely not reasonable anywhere in the United States. The only reason Jackie Chan was able to do that is because he had no deadline and no budget and no insurance. Nowadays, if you wanted to stress out your actors that much by doing 2,900 takes, you would never be allowed to do that. It is just not legal. But in China, it is. And that's why Jackie Chan was able to do it so well. With all the stunt actors he needed, he had pretty much unlimited budget in order to do it, and he had unlimited time because there was no deadline for the movie. So they took 7.5 days to film one scene. To be fair, that scene was really awesome, and they were like playing some kind of game, they were like kicking this birdie back and forth, which is pretty cool, all in all. And like, all of the choreography is incredibly intense, but it's just incredible that it took them that long to get it perfect. Because that's what they wanted. They wanted it perfect. And if it wasn't perfect, it wouldn't be good. So they did it that way. Now, I'm not saying that every single movie you have to do the exact amount of takes, use no CGI whatsoever, the whole time. But something that I would suggest is using as much practical effects as you can. The reason that I would suggest that is because practical effects lend a sort of comfort to a viewer. A viewer, whenever they look at CGI, can sometimes feel taken back from the movie, and they're not as engaged. But practical effects, they're real. You're filming something actually on screen. That can always give the viewer a more powerful connection to the movie. Sometimes practical effects just look better than CGI because they are a physical thing actually on set. They react to light the proper way. They'll always stay the same size. They're always consistent throughout every shot because they're actually there. The reason I brought up Jackie Chan is because he does almost all of his stunts on his own. With that, it's really important to remember practical effects can be kind of pricey, and that's why a lot of people avoid them and instead take CGI. But along the same lines, it can also be really, really expensive to do CGI. Take, for example, the ladder fight scene. The ladder fight scene is a fight scene that Jackie Chan has where he uses a ladder to fight off a large group of bad guys. Bad guys are all running at him, he's spinning around, he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's pretty impressive, honestly. It's really fun to watch. So, instead, take the Matrix Reloaded fight scene, where Neo fights a bunch of Agent Smiths. Now, you see this rubbery character, and you see him just jumping around this pole and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and it seems ridiculous. That's because of CGI. All of that was completely CGI. And you can definitely tell the difference. One is actually a guy actually fighting off a ton of other people, and you can feel every hit, you can hear every hit, it feels solid. And with that, I just watched some dude get spaghettied up into the air and he's stretched like 4 feet. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, you know? So that's just my opinion. If you have your opinion, leave it in the comments. Which do you think is better, practical effects or CGI? And in which examples do you think you should use them? I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Fiveday, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.